Hello there and welcome. I'm Colin, an award-winning CPD accredited master coach and certified mental health instructor. As the weather changes here in the Northern Hemisphere and autumn starts to come ever closer, things are starting to get a little colder, a little darker, a bit more damp and gloomy. And we tend to find that a lot of people at this time of the year start to experience what we call seasonal affective disorder. And that is, with the changing of the seasons, with the disappearance of the sunshine and the warm summery days, is now we're replaced with the colder, more gloomy weather. And a lot of people tend to be affected in terms of their state and perhaps their emotional state. So today, I'd like to talk a little bit about happiness, but more importantly, the balance of happiness. Now, I'm certified through the University of California, Berkeley in the science of happiness, and I'm excited to share with you that they have now launched a complementary program, the science of happiness in the workplace. And I believe that this is the perfect companion for my mental health training, particularly with regards to adult mental health and mental health in the workplace. But what I'd like to stress is that happiness is about the balance. One of the key learnings or takeaways that I took from the science of happiness was that happiness is not about being joyous and joyful and enthusiastic 100% of the time. Happiness is about the balance of the emotions. Happy people experience stress, anxiety, anger, sadness, depression, grief. But it's about managing those emotions and managing your state. And this just got me thinking back to my days back in South Africa when I read a very, very beneficial book. In fact, probably one of the most influential books I've ever read, other than Think and Grow Rich, which was Khalil Gibran's The Prophet. And massively inspirational, and a lot of the lessons and teachings from the Prophet I still carry with me today. But the one that resonates the most with me is when Khalil Gibran talks about joy and sorrow. He writes that your joy is your sorrow unmasked, and the self-same well from which your laughter rises was oftentimes filled with your tears. And how else can it be? The deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. And I think that's the important aspect. That's the focus that we need to be looking at. In terms of, to be happy, we also need to have experienced sorrow. To be joyous, we need to have experienced those troughs. Because without experiencing the troughs, how do you know when you're in the peaks? Without the valleys, how do you know that you're at the peak? You need to know what sorrow feels like, what it feels like to be sad or to experience despair, to know that you're experiencing joy. You can't have the one without the other. You need a reference point, the balance. Perhaps it's the Chinese reference of yin and yang, where you have the opposites but they complete the whole. And it's about honoring and accepting the fact that sorrow and adversity is a part of life, but it's an essential component towards happiness and joy. It's what Brendon Burchard taught me in terms of honor the struggle, because it's what we've experienced, what we've gone through and come out the other side, that A, gives us the resilience and also the motivation and momentum to keep pushing forward, but B, helps us to appreciate what it is that we do have in life, because we have a comparison. We have the opportunity to compare our joy with our sorrow. If our lives were 100% joyous, we wouldn't know what we were experiencing because we wouldn't have a reference point. So honor the struggles. But in doing so, I just want to stress that when you're in a time of struggle or hardship, one of the best things that you can do is to reach out for support. Now, yes, you have to do it on your own. People can't take your journey for you. We can't take that cup of sorrow from you and replace it with joy. But we can join you on the journey, perhaps support you, whether it be just as a friend, as a helping hand, or as a mentor or a coach to help you to reach the other side. So when you're in those dark times, Bear in mind that like the seasons, there will be change. After winter, there will be a spring and a summer. It's seasonal. Every night has its dawn. But you don't have to endure it or suffer it alone. And if you're suffering, reach out to somebody in your network. Reach out to support. Because it's not right to suffer in silence. Yes, you need to do it on your own, but you can't do it alone. Reach out. Ask for support. A problem shared is a problem halved. But remember, honor the struggle. And just as in life, we experience emotions and periods which are seasonal. So that's my video for today. I hope that you found it beneficial. And if you know of anybody else who you may think would find it useful, then please feel free to share it with them. If you have any questions, then please feel free to comment below or reach out to me and we can have a chat about perhaps how I could support you through one of your dark days. So until next time, thank you for watching, have a great week, and take care.